Hey everyone, to Collect Jurassic. I'm here with some really cool new Hammond Collection figure releases. I'm really excited to be looking at these. These just hit Target and I had to pick them up. I'll be looking at the Hammond Collection Velociraptor, Tiger Raptor, meant to be from Lost World. Going to be spending a lot of time on this one today. But I also got the Hammond Collection Stygimoloch, which is actually looks surprisingly really cool. I'm not a big Stiggy fan, but this figure does look awesome. But Tiger Raptor is definitely the one I was most stoked about. Love Lost World, love the Tiger Raptor. And I'm excited to get this one out, do some comparisons to some of the other Tiger figures we've gotten, as well as, hey, I'll even get the Amber Collection Tiger Raptor, and we'll compare to that. But let's go ahead and dive right in. We'll start with the packaging here. The packaging for Hammond Collection just received an update with this wave. We have that True Effects on the box, which is an interesting addition. There's really nothing new about these figures in terms of like the articulation or the glass eye. We've had that for a while, the paint apps, all that. But now the packaging makes a big deal of this True Effects premium details for enhanced realism. Makes a big deal about that. In addition to just some light design updates on the packaging. And one thing I'd call out is that now we don't always have pictures or renders of the toy. This is sort of like a weird illustration from, I think, Jurassic Park 3 that they just made look like a Tiger Raptor. This appears to be some sort of illustration or maybe even a render. So those aren't toys anymore. The renders on the back are still like toy renders. They just don't use that on the toy packaging front anymore for whatever reason, which is interesting. But yeah, new packaging, different colored background. I imagine they'll just kind of keep refreshing this packaging year over year, which if I was an inbox collector would drive me crazy. Let's go ahead and open Stiggy here. We'll start with that one. I feel like Hammond Collection is, kind of running out of these smaller figure species to do. And they've done a bunch already, and they've obviously done Packy. So Stiggy, of course, was always going to be a figure they were going to do. I think they were originally supposed to do a Stiggy for Amber Collection that never got made. So kind of cool to see it finally get a highly articulated figure in a smaller scale. But yeah, like I said, they're kind of running out of figures to do. They certainly have a lot more Raptors they can do. And then, they could do the rest of the Raptor squad, that kind of stuff. But as far as like movie species or even like sort of Jurassic adjacent species, Jurassic movie adjacent, maybe from games and stuff, they really are running out of smaller figures to do. So I'm interested to see how they carry the line forward. But for now, for this wave, we at least we got Stiggy and we got Tiger Raptor. Let's go ahead and get it up and put the tail on here. The tail just goes in. Looks like there's just a peg. Pop the tail in here. And then, of course, one thing I like to do with my Hammond Collection figures is test all the joints first. A will demonstrate articulation here, but we'll also make sure that we don't have any sticky joints or fused joints or anything like that, as is common with articulated figures in general, but happens sometimes with Hammond Collection too. But so far so good. You can see the arms have a ton of articulation here. We have shoulder and we have elbow. And they all have pivot both ways. So lots of articulation in the arms already. None on the wrist, but I don't really think it's necessary. And then the legs, we have the hip, we have the knee that works on both sides. Looks really smooth and kind of a ratchet. And then the feet too. And they're really tight on this too. So I like that. Sometimes you get these figures and the feet are very loose, which makes posing hard. So those main appendages work. The neck looks like the neck is on like a ball joint, the body and the head. And then the head is on another joint, which looks like it just kind of goes back and forth. So it can do the ramming pose. It can also look up. So that's cool. Yeah, nice articulation on that. And then the jaw has articulation. You can open the mouth and close it. That's closed, but let's see if I can get my nail in there, and that's open. And then yeah, the tail obviously has it on a ball joint too. So all articulation is checking out here, which is great. Let's talk about the paint app on this. And just the mold in general. I love these like smaller figures because they have a lot of this tackier plastic on the legs and on the head and on the tail even is like that rubber. So it feels really good in hand. Texture wise, mold wise, it's got a ton of little scaly bumps and details like Stiggy has. They did a really simple paint job on this, especially for a Hammond Collection figure. It's really just like an underbelly and stripe, and they have a little bit of that on the back legs and under the jaw and everything. What's really cool though is that the horns and the head, this is all cast plastic. It's not painted. It's kind of like this rubber insert they put in the head and did like this wash on. It looks really cool. None of the Mattel toys, any toy they've ever done, have done horns quite like this. I mean, the Ceratopsians, but none of these like Packies have ever done this. So that's really cool. Also, I love the little nose horn. That's a nice little detail that I've never noticed on Styggy before. But so that's probably my favorite part of this figure out the gate is this approach to the head, dome, and the horns is really cool. But looks like it's got painted toenails too, which is nice. So yeah, and then of course you have the glass eyes, which, you know, they've really gotten good with these. I'm a big hater of them. I still don't really love them, but sometimes sometimes they do them really well. Like you can see on this eye, it's much harder to get the iris to show up in my lighting. I know it's there because I can see it. But this one shows up really well. It catches the light really well. So I don't know if it's like how they seat the eye in the figure that helps it catch light better. But I mean, yeah, you cannot get the iris on these to catch there. You can kind of see it. It's there, all right. But anyway, the eye on this side looks really cool. So when you can get it right, it does really add to the figure. But I'm still not sold on them. I still kind of like the painted eyes. But this is still just an awesome improvement to Stiggy. I mean, if we look at like what I would call the best core Stiggy figure we ever got for Camp Cretaceous here, you can see it's got all the same details, all the same sort of like color stories. It's just much more natural on the Hammond Collection figure. And obviously there's just a lot more detail on the mold, and the articulation and all that stuff speaks for itself. So definitely, a much appreciated premium version of this figure, still the same scale. So you can kind of swap it in for your toys at this point. Like for me, I have a Fallen Kingdom display. So this guy will fit in there really nicely. So that is the Hammond Collection Stygimoloch. Let's go ahead and dive into the Tiger Raptor here. Again, before I get this out of the box, I'd love to call out this silly illustration they have here. It's couldn't they have found a picture of the Tiger Raptor from the movie, like, or something, or done something? This is like literally like a repainted, like, it looks like fan art, honestly, but it's I think it's a JP3 Raptor, if I recall correctly, that they've just recolored. The other thing I think is really weird about this is it has the Jurassic World logo on it. It doesn't have the Lost World logo like we would expect. The Fallen Kingdom Stiggy has the Fallen Kingdom logo right there. That's generally been the rule. So why did they not give this one the Lost World logo? That's bizarre. They also even have a picture of the Raptors from Lost World and a little like blurb about Sarah Harding and Ian Malcolm. So it's clearly meant to be the Tiger Raptor from Lost World, right? They just didn't put the logo. So I don't know what that's about. Surely they have the rights to their own logo. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Same thing on this one. It's got all the Premium Effects branding. Again, not really sure what that's about. It is the same, figure construction we've had for the past couple waves. So nothing really new there, but it does make the box look nice with that golden stripe, I guess. So go ahead and pop Raptor out here and test all those joints again. Man, that is one thing that I do not enjoy about unboxing these premium figures is all the little plastic ties on all the little hands. It's, versus like, open up some of the bigger Rebirth figures and it's literally like cutting two things and they pop out. But anyway, I'm going to pop this one out. There it is. And let's get the tail popped on our Raptor here. Raptor's looking really nice, though. This is just a really cool looking figure. I love the colors here. Whoops. Let's try that again. Oh, man. There we go. Got our tail on. That's a tight tail. Let's test our articulation here. We have the leg articulation, the hip, and then those tight feet I like. Yes, perfect. Same thing on this side. Yep, got the same three 3 points for articulation on the leg there. It's going to let you do a lot of cool raptor poses, right? Then on the arms, very delicate arms, shoulder and elbow. This joint's just a little loose here, but as long as you pose it right, it doesn't actually shake out of place. I will say these don't have, wrist articulation like the bigger figures used to, but I think they do a good job with the elbow that lets you do a lot of different poses anyway. So all the, standard articulation on the legs and arms works really well. The neck, we have kind of like the packy, like a neck that, this is very stiff, kind of moves. Yeah, it moves. So he can turn his head to and fro. It has a little bit of up and down range. Not a lot, though. A little bit, but not a lot. And then there's an articulation on the head, the base of the head, and then you have the jaw articulation, too. And I love the rubber teeth. That is a huge improvement that these figures have over previous versions, is the rubber teeth. At least on top, they look like they're separate rubber. The bottom ones still look pretty undetailed. I guess they're not really rubber, but they're a step in the right direction. They're better than they used to be. You can see he's got a little bit of an underbite there. So I think if we push the jaw back, that gets a little bit better. Maybe he just has got an underbite. But he's a really cool figure. I really like the enhanced proportions of the newer Hammond Collection figures. I mean, the feet on this guy are perfectly sized. You just don't even see that in the core line. So he just looks a lot more like the dinosaur in the movie and not like a toy. He looks like, that looks like the Tiger Raptor. That's really cool looking. You can see it's got the glass size too. He catches a light actually really good on both sides, I noticed. So that's cool to get that really nice lighting effect on the eyes that catch the light. Yeah, I don't know why some do and some don't, but certainly this Tiger Raptor has been engineered to catch the light really well. And yeah, it doesn't have a ton of paint on it, honestly. It's literally just like 3 colors: light underbelly, base orange, not even a paint, just plastic, and then the stripes, literally nothing else. Obviously you have the claws are all painted, which is appreciated, but yeah, there's really not a ton of paint budget on this. However, it does look faithfully like a Tiger Raptor. Could it have had a couple more paint passes to add some detail? Sure. On the face or something, but I think it definitely still gets the job done. Definitely one of the better Tiger Raptors we've ever gotten. I can go ahead and grab a couple of those ones. This was one that wasn't technically Legacy Collection, but clearly meant to be the Tiger Raptor. And then we have another one from a recent Mattel set, I think a vehicle set, that's meant to be Tiger Raptor. I've always loved Mattel's attempts at making the Tiger Raptor. All of them are good. There's even more than this. There's a few more even than this, but I love them all in their own right. They all kind of look like a different take on it. Oh, this guy's not going to stand up. But you can just see here that the Hammond Collection one is just an awesome toy. Blows these ones out of the water. It just looks just like the film species. Then, of course, we can put this one next to the Jurassic Park Hammond Collection Raptor. You can see just how far they've come. This is the same figure line, same figure price point. This is the first Jurassic Park Raptor. It looks real rough. And then this is the Lost World one. I love this figure. People hate on it. I still love it. But wow, this is awesome. And if they go back and make a Jurassic Park one, I'll be pretty happy, honestly. But wow, this one actually looks, the tiger looks significantly bigger than the Jurassic Park Raptor, which is interesting. And then, of course, let's see. We can do the Amber Collection Raptor. And again, you can see just how different of a take Mattel has done over the years of this design, of this color pattern, all of it. It's just completely different. I assume they're working off the same base material. But, honestly, looking back at Amber Collection, they're so stylized. They're very, I wouldn't call it cartoony, but it's definitely a very specific kind of style. Whereas this does, this has a style too, but it does look more like the movie and less like a stylized version of the movie. But yeah, cool to see how they're different takes on the, very iconic design over the years across different scales even. But this one just looks great. Definitely can't wait to get in the display. Looks great next to humans. Honestly, I'm going to have to get a few of these because it's one of the classic dinosaurs. There's a pack of them in Lost World. You got to have at least more than one, maybe 2 or 3, to kind of get that tall grass pack going, right? But you can see this thing just looks excellent next to the Lost World Legacy figures. I hope they do more. I hope they do more Lost World. I hope they do that Buck Rex, but this Tiger Raptor is definitely a step in the right direction. And of course, we get the Stegosaurus from Lost World here pretty soon too. So, but yeah, overall, super happy with this wave. I'm still missing Trudon, but honestly, that was not one I was looking forward to. The Tiger Raptor is really my prize here. So definitely wanted to spend a lot of time in this review, on this awesome looking figure. But they look great together. Can't wait to again get them worked into my collection, grab a few more of these Raptors, build out my pack. But I think that's all I got for this review. Again, I'm Tim Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.